Gloria Strode, and welcome to Straightforward. Today we are on location at a wonderful event, and I am excited to share with you my new friend, Dr. Pam Smith of the Smith BIOS group. And in your presentation today, you said BIOS mean what?
Life in the Greek.
Life in the Greek. See, I learned something. I like to learn something. Your story is just phenomenal. When I decided to attend today, I had no idea how powerful. Yes, you are a very brilliant, well-educated, polished, husband's a minister, all of that greatness. But the thing that stopped me in my tracks was when your husband said to me, well, was it 10 years ago?
10 years next month. 10 years in March.
He said, 10 years ago, my wife gave me a kidney and it matched. And I thought, what?
Yes.
So that's a part of the miracle.
Absolutely.
And you all have been married, what, 36
years.
36 years. And so in his testimony, he says he's been blessed. And truly, that is a blessing. Because it's really rare that your spouse could give you a kidney and it's a perfect match.
Right. A lot of times people look at their siblings or a child or something of that nature first.
Right.
But as I mentioned, I'm the mama bear in the family. So Mama Bear did not want her baby bears.
Right.
We have 2 daughters.
Right.
And so I just decided that when I went to the office that day and my husband's doctor told him he was going into kidney failure and that he would either need to have a kidney transplant or go on dialysis. When I heard the news and we got out to the car, I looked at him and I said, honey, I know zero zilch about organ donation. But here's what I'll do. I will learn about it. I will get informed and educated about it. And if I'll get tested, and if I'm a match, I will gladly donate a kidney to you.
You are such a brave and outstanding woman. So first, you were going to educate yourself.
Yes.
Because that was out of your wheelhouse.
Yes.
And you didn't want the little bear babies
Right.
to do that.
Right.
And so you stepped up and you got tested. And it was a match.
A match. Yes.
So did you discuss it with your kids, other family members? Because, sometimes in families, everybody has an opinion.
Right. Sometimes, people want to kind of keep it hush-hush. But with us, we are a close-knit family. And so we decided we were going to share it with our grown daughters. They were in their early 20s, like 20 and 23, somewhere in there. And so we just decided to go through this as a family. And so that's what we did.
So what about your siblings on your side? Because, sometimes when we have extended families, people have opinions because they're more worried about you, their sister, than they are about your husband. Right.
Well, to be honest with you, they were happy. They were
really
happy to hear that, oh, that's brave of you.
I know, right? That's what I said, right. So were you afraid, which I know you're a woman of faith because your husband's a minister and you all, you have a worship center in the Carolinas, in Charlotte.
Yes.
Right. And so I know that you walk by faith and not by sight, but that's a very brave thing. That's a health thing.
Yes.
I mean, that was a lot.
Yes.
To give your God-given kidney to your spouse.
Absolutely. But to be honest with you, there was never any moments of fear.
Really?
From the time that we heard the doctor say those words to my husband to the day that we actually were rolled into the operating room, call it God. Faith.
And so how did your girls handle, because they were 20-something.
Yes.
So you have both of your parents. Yes. That had to be very scary.
Yeah, now on their side, so that's why we had to keep them informed. Okay. We wanted to keep them informed about everything. We didn't want to be them to be in the dark.
Because that's how the devil get into detail, so to speak, is when people don't have the information.
Right.
So you kept them in the loop.
Yes, kept them in the loop. And so they felt good about it. And actually the day of, they worked together as a team. They were at the hospital that day, and there's a video done by WBTV news station in Charlotte, and Christine Sparrow, who was Nelson at the time, she did a video on it, and she ended up winning an Emmy Award for it.
Really?
The South Region Emmy Award and the Association of National Black Journalists Award. And we show that at the end of our workshops just so people can see the practical side of it. We have our family there on the video. We have the church community there in the video, our friends. And that's
So
just
your
important.
entire village.
It was a village,
Mhm.
and that's what it takes. That's
Yeah,
what it took for us.
really. And so you had the love and support of the village, your children, your adult children.
Yes, yes.
They were able to stand together and navigate having both parents under anesthesia. No, that's a scary thing.
It is.
Because when you go under anesthesia, you know those papers, PhD,
right.
they have you sign and say in case you don't wake up.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And so that was a lot for them as young
Yes.
20-something people.
Yes. And they kept busy. They had the cell phones, notifying people, keeping
Right.
folks updated on our surgery and the outcome and all of that. So they were doing what young adults do. They had their little technology stuff. And,
Right.
So that kind of kept them busy, and we got through it.
Wow, my goodness. And so how long was the surgery and all of that?
I don't recall the length of the surgery, but I do know that shortly after the surgery, and this is captured on the video as well, that I got up out of my bed because I had to know how my husband was doing.
Isn't that something?
I got up out of my bed, and they put us across the hallway from each other.
Okay, so you're on the same floor.
Yes, same floor, because...
So you could still supervise.
Yeah. Yes, so I went across the hallway, and I went over there, and I laid my hands on him, gave him a couple of kisses, and he was telling me how much he loved me, and we were just sharing with one another. Again, it was just that experience. It was a godly experience. It was a love. We're talking about a love connection.
Deep connection, yes.
Deep love connection. Right. And I just had to see him with my own eyes and know for myself.
Had to touch him.
Yeah, I had to touch him.
Yes.
And just know that the sacrifice that I made, that it was all right. It was going to be all right.
I know. And so you are fully engaged.
Yes.
You all, lead a church. You have a full-time job. In organ donation, is that
Yes,
what
I work for Donate Life North Carolina. It's an organization, a nonprofit that encourages all citizens really to sign up on the organ donor registry, because there's so many myths out there as it relates to organ donation. And so one thing I'm able to do is I dispel those myths and the mistruths, and I also share my transplant story. Right. I'm a witness.
Not the best example. You walking, breathing, best example, and you know the importance of it, how it saved lives. Yes. And we really need that side of education particularly in the African American community, because we're usually kind of scared of things like that, But I am just really excited, and I'm just overjoyed that I have the opportunity to meet you and your husband. But what we're going to do, we're going to go to a break to our sponsors. I'm going to chat with your husband, and then we're going to come back, and the three of us will chat.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by State Senator Ed Harbison, serving the citizens of Georgia's 15th Senatorial District and on the front lines for veterans every day. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided. A touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road, trusted by generations. The Columbus Memory Center, 7196 North Lake Drive, Suite A, Columbus. Dr. Jonathan Liss is a board-certified neurologist and sleep specialist committed to battling Alzheimer's by preserving independence, offering you the opportunity to get your memory number for free, the only vital sign for brain health. Call today at 706-327-4000 or visit columbusmemorycenter.com. And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing this very important conversation with Pastor Antonio Smith. I just visited with his fabulous wife, who he shared with me. It just took my breath that 10 years ago, she gave him a kidney and it matched. And that was just another miracle. And today, this workshop has been phenomenal.
Thank you.
You actually took my husband to the principal's office. I am so very thankful that you took him to the woodshed and you gave that talk that he needed to have. And the thing that stuck with me, Pastor Smith, I know you are the shepherd, of a church, and your wife, and of course you all have the Smith BIOS group. You got your business and all of these other things that you're doing. But the one thing that stuck out for me in the workshop this morning is when you said, when you go to the doctor, of course, you had all the statistics on kidney disease, diabetes, hypertension, and I mean, it was powerful because you are an orator, you a minister.
Yes.
So, I mean, you speak very freely. But when you said, if you go to the doctor and you say you're okay, what?
The doctor will treat you as if you're okay.
See, that right now, that was profound.
Can I say this?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
One of the biggest problems in our community, especially with men, is that we won't be truthful.
Ooh, preach now.
Now, it's hard to get us to go to the doctor.
Yes, sir.
And to get us to go to the doctor and be truthful about our feelings and how we feel is a whole different ballgame.
Yes, sir, I'm a witness.
We have men now suffering with blurry eyes, vision,
Right.
but they blame old age.
Yes. That's an easier answer.
Easy answer. Simply go to the doctor and get your blood sugar levels checked.
Or you said you wake up and you don't feel good, and you shared with us today what your blood sugar was for like 3 days. You said one morning it was 120, another time it was 93 or whatever. I listened to you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that's important. The first thing I do every morning is check my blood sugar. At noon, after this interview,
Right.
I'm going to check my blood sugar level.
Yes, sir.
Tonight, I'm going to check my blood sugar level. I do that before every meal
Okay.
because that will determine how much I eat and what I eat.
Okay.
Food is medicine.
Food is medicine.
And we live in the South where we are known for good eating.
Yes, we eat all of the wrong things. My friend is a family physician, and she would say when we go to events, even church events, already on the table they have sweet tea.
Yeah.
And probably most of the people in the room shouldn't have it. She would always say that.
We showed in a video today, before it was entitled "Before You Eat the Church Food."
Ooh.
And
before you eat the church food.
And if you notice what we eat at church, fried chicken, mac and cheese, potato salad, cornbread, corn, and sweet tea, sweet lemonade,
pound cake, sweet potato pie, peach cobbler.
Everything I've listed and you've listed is full with starch.
Yes.
Once that starch hits our digestive system, it turns into sugar. There's another problem we have in African American communities. We like to take a drink.
We do. We do.
And there's so much sugar in the
alcohol
that we consume. I tell men all the time, after you finish drinking, go check your blood sugar level. And I guarantee you'll stop. If you're serious, if you're serious about your health. We emphasize in the workshop today, water is your best friend.
Yes, sir. And we drink alkaline water at our house.
That's even better.
And that's what we drink. And we buy it, not because we're trying to be fancy or whatever, but our son started us with that. It's like, just drink that alkaline water, and because coming out of the tap sometime, Pastor Smith, you can smell the chlorine.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really.
Now, I would be careful with alkaline water because for some medicines that we take, it can destroy the effects of the medicine.
Okay.
So I will be careful. I'll make sure that the alkaline water lines up with the medicine we take.
Exactly.
My mother-in-law, my wife's mother, she used to drink alkaline water, but it was working against her diabetes.
Okay.
And the medicine she was taking.
Okay, it was making it neutral.
Yeah.
Okay, it was neutralizing the medicine.
Right.
Okay.
And you need the medicine to work on you.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's another thing. You had another saying. I want you to say what it is. You can choose to or not choose or something.
I say, I eat to live. Make sure I say this right. I eat to live, not live to eat.
Exactly. And if you don't do it, somebody else or something you were saying in there. I mean, you really had that thing flowing.
I said to the congregation, those who want to find a way.
That's it.
Those who don't find excuses.
Say it again.
Those who want to find a way.
Yes, sir.
Those who don't find excuses. What we must be real about is that the doctor cannot control our issues.
All right.
Matter of fact, I'll say this, and a lot of doctors don't like it. The doctor is not your boss.
Ooh.
You pay the doctor.
All right. He works for you.
Yes.
And you need to be your best advocate.
That's right. That's right. And if it is to be, it's up to me.
If it is to be, it's up to me.
No one can control your diabetes. No one can control your high blood pressure but you.
Exactly.
And as Dr. Brookins put it today, she loved when I said it, food is medicine.
So we need to be making sure we eating the right things. We need to be exercising. We need to monitor. You said our body speaks.
Yeah.
And we need to listen.
Will talk to you. What my wife did shortly after my surgery, we started eating portion size. Your meat should be no bigger than the palm of your hand. We measure out the vegetables. I normally eat 2/3 or 1/4 of vegetables. I have eaten that way for so long until now. That's much as I can eat.
You can't. Your stomach has adjusted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's being health conscious. Even some of the vegetables that we eat could hurt us. Right. Corn.
Yes, it's hard to digest corn.
Lima beans.
Yes.
Well, they are very starchy. The potatoes. The white rice.
Right.
If you got to eat rice,
eat the brown rice.
Eat the brown rice.
Exactly.
Stay away from the gravy.
Right. All that stuff cooked with flour.
Yeah, everything. You know, we did a workshop in North Carolina, and there was a guy who swore he couldn't stop eating fried chicken. So I called him. He affectionately fried chicken man. Well, after each workshop, we follow up with a kidney screen. Right. So the day of the kidney screening, the first person that showed up for the screening was fried chicken man. Okay. I said, bro, what you doing there? You told me you had to eat chicken. You ain't gonna stop. He said, Reverend, you were right. I went to my doctor. He asked me what I was eating. My blood sugar level was high. He said, fried chicken is not good for you. He said, my mind immediately went back to what you said.
That warning. Yes, sir.
So I had to be, he said, I wanted to be the first in line. He was the first in line. Lo and behold, he had not damaged his kidney. We've been blessed in our workshops to do kidney screening. We partner with the National Kidney Foundation. Now we're partnering with a nephrologist out of Augusta. And the first time we did a kidney screening at the General State Baptist Convention of Georgia was here in Macon, Georgia. President Martin was the president at that time. The very first time we did, there was a person in the audience with stage 5 kidney failure.
They were at the end of the road.
He didn't know it. We had to rush him out.
To the hospital. Wow.
Fast forward, we went to Atlanta. Did a workshop there. No, we did a screening there. There was a brother in the audience. I talked to him, man, go there and check. He said, I got blood pressure. I said, you need to go check it. He went, he got checked. He had to leave the auditorium and go home. Wow. Immediately because his blood sugar, his blood pressure
was out of control. Okay, well, what we're going to do, we're going to go to our break, to our sponsors. We're going to bring your wife back, and there'll be 3 of us. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors.
Apple Tax Services for the best in tax preparation. 7413 Whitesville Road, Columbus. Call for your appointment today at 706-243-2590 or 706-243-2595. And remember, an apple a day keeps the audits away. The Miley Agency, 4903 Armour Road. Gerald L. Miley and William Ripsinger have been providing comprehensive reviews and insuring families in Georgia and Alabama for more than 50 years. The Miley Agency will work non-stop to find you the best policy at the best price. You can rest assured that your information is secure, confidential, and protected. Call today at 706-996-2045.
And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing this wonderful, so important visit with Dr. Smith and Pastor Smith from Charlotte. And they are taking this message workshop screening all over the Southeast. And I am so blessed that we were able to come and share. As I shared with you in the sidebar, we thought we were going to be somewhere else, but we finally got the call about, okay, come today, and this is why. Your message and the work that you all are doing is so important. It's important to all communities, but particularly to the African American community. As I shared with you when I met you at 90 years old, my daddy went on dialysis. He lived to be 92. He was in his right mind. He didn't have no Alzheimer's. But the thing about him, my husband and I talked about it, is he always ate small portions and fresh vegetables. He'd have a little bowl of turnips. Later, you might see him a little bowl of black-eyed peas. And he always stood up and ate. My husband, we've been married, 41 years. And he's like, why your dad always stand up and eat? He wasn't a fat man or anything. He wasn't overweight. He had hypertension, but I think it was genetic. So he wasn't overweight or anything, but he really, with those small portions and a fresh vegetable. It's just that his body just got old, and you know what happens. In the workshop today, he shared with us, Dr. Smith, some of those wonderful sayings. So for your next workshop, you got to put them on a little card. So people like me can pull it out and use it. You know, I like to, what he coined, I want to case it, copy and steal everything. So I can use it again. But the story of faith and love and miracles where you could give him the kidney and it was perfect and it matched. And you were able to, through your village or your faith base, your family and your friends and your adult children, to get through and take this show on the road. One thing you did in the workshop, and it stunned the room, was when you lifted your pant leg and showed that you were amputee. And that reminded me of Shay, the host of the event, when she said she had gangrene in her toe. That brought me back to my family members who have been diabetics and have both of the legs amputated, and we still had the wrong things at the family reunion. We still eating the wrong things. And you all out in the vineyard trying to help save the people. So with the Smith BIOS, this is what you do. And now tell me again what BIOS mean.
Life in the Greek.
Life in the Greek. I love that. I was so impressed with that. But with your personal company, I know as a shepherd, you got to lead the people. And that's a hard job. God bless you all. That's a real hard job. But even out in the community, what you're doing. And so with these screenings, they're free.
Yes, right.
Okay, that's what I want you to share. Yeah. And I know you all live in Charlotte, but you're doing a lot in Georgia, over in Augusta, which is your hometown. Right. Payne College person, some Albany State history. You don't have no shame. I already told you that. We always have to give a little credit for ourselves down at the Albany State University, but then Payne College. So you're going to continue to bring this on the road, free. You shared with me you're going to be in Columbus, which is where I live, over in February. And so people can show up there, have the opportunity to participate in the great, like we had here today, workshop and the free screening.
Yeah. Now, the workshop itself is not free.
Okay.
We're asking people to, at the end of our presentation, to give us a thorough evaluation.
Okay.
God has blessed us to have a grant writer.
Okay.
Who's preparing to write grants talking about the effectiveness of what we do, and
Okay.
how it's changing lives.
Okay.
Once we submit those grants, we're praying that we will get enough money to take this show over.
Well, because it takes money to
Yeah.
travel. See,
Yeah.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like the people that came here today.
Right.
Right. Then
Right.
the
The kidney screenings are
oh,
always
that's free. Right. So
Oh.
all of that didn't cost
Yeah,
anything.
nothing.
We had a nephrologist here
Mhm.
on the property, Dr. Brookins,
Yes.
who is collaborating with you all, and
Right.
she's telemedicine,
Mm-hmm.
and she's based in Augusta.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying.
Right.
See, because sometimes our people don't go where they need to go because they don't have the money. Go back to what you said.
That's true.
But we can find money to go to the family reunion, we can go to the beach, we can go to concerts, we can go to all of those
Mhm.
things. So we have to start putting our health first.
Right.
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 And so that's your message
That's my
in the
message.
workshop, and you were very firm. You took my husband to the principal office. I told him I was very happy. No, really. Because what did you say? And I want to say this before we run out of time. If you tell the doctor you're okay, they're not going to look for anything.
He's gonna treat you like you're okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's not good.
No.
And that's why a lot of our people, by the time we find things, they're too far down the
Right.
road and we can't walk
Right.
them back.
Right.
I know that's one thing he said when he went to his doctor's appointment. He asked questions.
Mhm.
Just ask questions until you have that peace or
Mhm.
that comfort, knowing that okay, I feel
And no
better
question
about it.
is a stupid question.
No.
That's right.
The only
That's
stupid
right.
question is the one you didn't ask.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
And
Absolutely.
to add what she said, that's how I gained knowledge
Mhm.
to do what we was doing.
Right.
Everything he did, what's that for? What's
Right.
the purpose of that?
Mhm.
Why it's needed?
Just don't follow
And-
blindly.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. And I would make him break it down in language
Mhm.
where I can understand it.
In layman's terms.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. One of the best parts about today's workshop, the lady asked us, she said, "You broke this thing down so we could digest it."
Mhm.
That's what we want.
To the lowest common denominator.
That's right.
Well, I want to thank you all so much. We're going to put your contact information on the screen
Yes.
so people will know how to reach you. And once this show airs, you will be able to see it from Charlotte on our YouTube.
Okay.
And I thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. And guess what?
Wonderful.
Now you stuck with me.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a
All
good
right.
thing. It's a good
Thank you
thing.
so much.
Thank you.
This has been straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.
What up, world? What's up, Columbus? Be sure to tune in every Sunday, Straightforward with Gloria Strode, right here on NBC 38.